Hello Prep 2. This week we are going to be having a look at this book. It's called The Journey Home and it's written and illustrated by Fran Preston Gannon. Now take a look at this cover. What animals can you see? I wonder if they feel familiar to you. We've got an elephant, a panda, a polar bear and an orangutan. Now think back to last week. And can you remember that we looked at some footprints? You've clocked it, haven't you? The footprints that we looked at last week were the footprints of these animals. Now, I wonder, why are they all in a boat together? We wouldn't normally see these creatures together, would we? Especially not in a boat. I wonder, what do you think those animals have in common? Why do you think they could be in a boat? If they're in a boat, maybe they're going somewhere. Where do you think these creatures could be going? Maybe if these animals are going somewhere, they might be having to leave their homes where they live. I wonder, why do you think they could be leaving their homes? And if they did have to leave their homes, what advice do you think you could give them? Now, if we're going to offer some advice to these animals, then we will have to phrase our advice using some special kinds of words called verbs. Can you remember what a verb is? If you're not sure, a verb is a doing word. So you might want to pause the video now and have a think to yourself for 30 seconds, like we would do in class, and think of some doing words, some verbs. Remember, it's got to be an action, something that you can do. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to pause it and go. Now that you have got some verbs in your heads, I'm going to show you how we can use those verbs to help us write some sentences where we use a verb at the beginning of the sentence to give these animals some advice. Let's take a look together. Hopefully now you've thought of some verbs, some doing words that you think you might be able to use to help these animals. Have a look at my whiteboard here. In purple, I have written down some verbs that I just thought of. I've chosen run, jump, climb, walk, swim, crawl, spin, leap, chew, shout. Now, if you're ever unsure about whether a word is a verb or not, remember a verb is an action, it's a doing word. It's something that you can physically do. And I know that all of you can do all of those things. Now, we're going to use these verbs to build a sentence below. And then you're going to have a look and see if you can identify the verbs that I have used. Now, I think I'm going to choose the orangutan as my first animal. Now, if I was trying to give the orangutan some advice about if he is leaving his home, I might say that he could climb a tree that is taller or climb taller trees. Let's write that together. Climb taller trees. And I need to use my full stop at the end. I wonder if you can spot which of these words is the verb. Climb taller trees. Which one of these words can you do? Which one is an action? You can pause the video if you need to. Now, climb is our verb here. I'm going to underline that in purple to show that it is the verb. Climb taller trees. Maybe the panda, I might say, chew bamboo more quickly. Now, which one of those words is our verb? Which one is a doing word, an action? Chew bamboo more quickly. Chew is our verb, it's our action, it's our doing word. We have got another word down here which might be a bit similar. This is called an adverb, quickly, because it tells us how to do the verb, okay? So often you will see that adverbs end in an ly, okay? And these describe how to do your verb. So these are an adverb. If you can use an adverb in your sentence, I will be really, really impressed. Now, what I would like you to do is to have a go at writing your own sentences using some verbs, okay? If you would like to do them in sentences, like I've done, and underline your verbs, that would be a lovely idea. And if you want to, you can underline any adverbs that you use too. Maybe use a different colour so that I know you understand the difference between the verbs and the adverbs. Or you can download the worksheet that's on Google Classroom that has some speech bubbles, or you can draw your own speech bubbles and write them in. The choice is yours. The important thing today is that you use some sentences including your verbs.